Look what I'm wearing. The It's Christmas shirt. You could either get one of these for free whenever you join my Patreon for $10 or more.
Or my subscribe star.
Or if you want, you can also buy it outright at store.saygoodnightkevin.com. But of course, in all reality, the Patreon deal is the better deal, I will say. There's all kinds of cool stuff over at that store. Of course, we've got the shirts. We've got 50% off right now of any vintage Say Goodnight Kevin stuff. We even have gift cards now available at the official Say Goodnight Kevin store. All right, let's get into the greatest Christmas movie of all time. Let's go. Oh boy, it's Christmas time. I've got a confession to make. That's right, these are my confessions. Since I started using this microphone, I feel the desire to sing, even though I can't sing at all. What's another one? Bow, 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 wow, 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 wow. Roof, roof. Barkley's like, you rang. All right, well, what am I talking about? I'm talking about The Chosen. Dun, dun, dun. Do you guys remember, maybe last month, maybe the month before, I reviewed a movie called Gavin Stone. That movie was created, directed by Dallas Jenkins. Well, Dallas has a new series that's coming up. It's crowdfunded. It's not Kickstarter or anything. It's something else. But the reason why it's getting funding and the reason why anybody paid attention to it was because Dallas made a pilot for it. It's kind of a nativity story. Now, the budget is going to be like $1 million an episode or something for the actual series. This does not have that budget. This was made with like $2 for the episode. So I'm not going to hold it up to the standard I would for something. Like when the real one comes out, when the actual show comes out, I'll review that and I'm going to hold it up to a pretty high standard because, man, $1 million an episode's like a real TV show. But we'll talk about that when the time comes. Right now, what I want to talk about is this. I'll have a link in the description below. I think you can go to VidAngel or something. I'm not here promoting it. I'm just here talking about it because that's what I do around here. This is my Say Goodnight Kevin Christmas movie night review of The Chosen. Let's just jump right into it. Ah, yes, I remember this logo. Vertical Church Films. Based on a true story from Luke's Gospel, Chapter 2. They always are. When Augustus became Emperor of Rome, the prophets of Israel had been silent for 400 years, suffering heavy taxation, which is theft. That would be funny if that was in there. Taxation is theft, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dallas Jenkins. All right, so we kick it off with this little shepherd boy. Only a boy named David. It's not David. It's a little shepherd boy, and he's got a bum leg, and he's taking his little sheep for a walk to the well. Then we cut over to this, I guess it's a Pharisee or it's a scribe or something, reading from the Old Testament. Then we head into the city, where it looks like he's walking his sheep through the marketplace. Very Aladdin-esque. I don't know why I always think of Aladdin every moment of every day. Maybe I should think about other stuff. Aladdin was very influential in my life. Let's see, I was like 8 or 9 when that movie came out. It was hilarious. I was like, I've never seen anything funny before. So the shepherd, he has some questions for the priest, or the, I don't know what they're called, the people who check perfection of the lamb.
Do you believe the Messiah will set us free from the occupation?
But it turns out, not only is the shepherd not perfect, the lamb isn't either.
You wonder why the Messiah hasn't come? People like you keeping him away with your stains. If you come back here without a perfect lamb, I will banish you all from the marketplace.
I warned you about this.
You would think that while we were walking on the road, you would have noticed the spot on the lamb. Like, that's the one thing he asked for. Being the inquisitive young shepherd boy that he is, our hero enters into the place where that scribe is reading the Old Testament.
Those who dwelt.
Oh, he's gonna get in trouble for this.
You
Want to listen?
No, this is a holy place.
Please.
You are filthy. Go. For every boot of
Get
the
out.
ramping warrior in battle tumult, and every garment robe.
You guys see the irony here, huh? Here they are reading about how God will come and save everybody, and yet they can't have any grace or forgiveness on this guy. Isn't that just how we are? That's when he comes across a young couple on a donkey. Who could this be? Mary, did you know?
Thank you for your kindness.
Santa Claus?
Make firm the feeble knees. Say to those who have an anxious heart, be strong.
I like the juxtaposition of the bad guys, kind of the jerks, are the ones reading the thing that we're supposed to be learning in this. I think it's kind of neat because it kind of drives home this idea that you can read the Bible all the time and still totally miss what it's trying to say. Yet oftentimes those people who don't understand will tell you, somebody who is trying to learn and understand, that you're wrong and that you've misinterpreted it and that people have read this book for thousands of years and we've done it this way, and if you think any differently than the way the guy who's trying to guilt you into him controlling your life thinks, then you're wrong. Something's wrong with you. There's no power in the words, there's power in the meaning behind it. The shepherd, he thinks what's being read is being played out before him, but it's just so hard to see and he feels bad. I feel bad. I feel terrible about the whole situation. It's real disheartening. So Shepherd Boy Seymour makes it back to the fields by night. Yes, that's right. We finally find out that his name is Seymour. Probably because he sees more than the average religious person, I'm thinking. But not even his shepherd friends care to have him nearby while they sleep. So Seymour goes off and pees in the river. Only a babbling brook. But that's when something miraculous happens. Uh-oh. Zip! And lo, an angel of the Lord shone upon them, and they were sore afraid. These guys get to see the angel, and our shepherd friend doesn't. Well, I guess he sees it, but he's not really there. Oh my goodness, it's Mad Hype Steamroller. Oh man, they don't show it? I guess, I get it. We've seen it a million times in Christmas pageants, so we don't really need to see the angels. We know what happens. Meanwhile, Mary is giving birth in slow motion. That would be the worst thing to have to do with slow motion, wouldn't it? I'm healed. I was faking it the whole time. Oh, God, Jesus Christ, this hurts. I'm getting some saving Christmas vibes here. Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. We saw the angels, dude. You wouldn't even believe it. They came down and they said, "Hey, behold, the glory of the Lord, man." You wouldn't even freaking believe it, man. It's spotless. We could sacrifice this baby.
What will you name him?
Jesus.
The English version?
For to us a child is born. To us a son is given. And the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace.
A rich like me. So God healed his leg, but not his arm?
I told you not to come back here.
Ooh, this is awkward.
So where is it? Have you found a spotless lamb for sacrifice?
I have! It's Jesus is the spotless lamb. The shepherd. Well, there you have it, everybody. The Chosen, the Shepherd. I don't know what they're going to do with it in the future, but I'm interested to see. I don't know if they're going to continue with the shepherd story or if they're going to just tell a different story of kind of an extra biblical character every week and explore, you know, a biblical story, kind of like Donkey Ali does, you know? But I will say, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I feel like it was dragged out. This definitely could have been a 10-minute thing. It stretches out because there's all the slow motion and like, oh, it's slow and this is important. Don't forget, this is an important thing. It's like after the bomb goes off and Sum of All Fears, you know, it's just a slow, like, can you believe this is happening? They do that a lot in The Lord of the Rings where it's like, oh, slow motion. But for a TV show, for the last half of it to kind of all be that, I get it. I get the artistic aspect of it, but it also feels like it's padding a little bit, to a degree. It looks awesome, especially for the low budget that this had. I believe it was a pretty low budget. I can see why people are like, yes, more of this. I liked the acting and the characters. I felt like we didn't get to know anybody. Like, it felt like half a story. I guess that's why I noticed the dragging out and the padding, is because there's so much more that we could have gotten to know this character. It's kind of one thing. It's, you know, he comes in, spotless lamb, he doesn't get accepted, and then, you know, spotless lamb? Oh, yeah, I found it. It's actually Jesus, though, different lamb, the Lamb of God. Heavy metal band Lamb of God is who I found, and they're great. I got tickets. You should go see them. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I said this already, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with the series as it goes. Is it going to be an anthology? Is it going to be a running storyline? We'll see, but it looks really good. It's impressive. It's different. It's something that you don't normally see, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next, all right? So stay tuned. Thanks for joining me today, everybody. I'll talk to you all later. Merry Christmas and good night. Big shout out to the people who pledged to me on Patreon and or subscribestar.com/saygoodnightkevin. You can check me out on either one of those. Some people have told me that they have some qualms about supporting Patreon, and I can't say that I blame them. Either way, I'm going to keep my Patreon, but also provide a second option. It's basically the same thing. Any rewards that you would get on Patreon, you can also get over on Subscribestar. You could do both if you want. I don't know why you would do that. It's an alternative. I mean, it's good. It's kind of like backing up your hard drives, you know? You don't want to just have one hard drive, so it's good to have a backup. Thanks so much to the Lawson family, Amanda and Rachel Stewart, and Jacob and Emily Rugrock. That's all I gotta say. I'll see you guys very soon. Good night.